Hello everybody, this is Jeffrey GT7 and welcome to the episode. In this episode, we're going to be using a request build using the Toyota MR2GTS at Tokyo Expressway. Now I did share in my last episode that this car, to me personally, a lot of good memories, especially whenever I start my own campaign in Gran Turismo 4, so this is going to be quite a treat. This particular build is going to be the stock engine build as well, so that way everybody have a chance to give it a shot. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into the episode. So of course the first step is how to get the car. Well, at this time the car is right now in the game itself. It's going to cost you a pretty affordable 51,100 credits just to get this car. If you have the funds for this car, I extremely encourage you to get this car, not only because this car is a great classic, but this car, once you get both upgrade with either the stock engine or the swap, a really good pick overall for Tokyo Expressway, and also a really smooth pick for Le Mans as well. So let's go ahead and move into the next part, which is going to be the parts for car customization. Here are the rims that I actually used for the livery I did download for my car. Now let's say if you don't want the livery but you would have the parts, here we go right here. So those are the rims I just now shared. There's a front bumper being type B. For the side, it's going to be type B as well. For the rear of the car, you're going to have the type B diffuser. For your wing, it's going to be custom wing set. Doesn't matter what the height is or what the wing plates are. And then for your last part, it's going to be the roll cage type C, and that's going to be it for your parts. Now let's go ahead and take a quick look at the build itself, and as you can see, we got ourselves a lot of racing parts in this car. Now I would really encourage you guys just to pause the episode, that way if you want to go ahead and just basically copy down the numbers you see on the screen. But we're fully decked with all the parts: the fully customized suspension, fully customized diff, the manual transmission, the full control computer chip. Downforce, I actually do have it pretty much at a T for those numbers, so just make sure you copy the numbers down for your front part of the list. That way it's going to really help your car, especially around the turns, and of course having that nice handling aspect at Tokyo Expressway. Now for the other part of the list, same scenario. We basically have got all the parts we got our hands on, so if you do have enough funds, I would really recommend just get all the parts you possibly can get. And with this being a non-level 50 car, I pretty much got anything and everything you could possibly think of for this car. So just make sure you get your car as much upgrades as possible. That's the main objective. And then of course, following the suspension and the downforce package is going to be the only way to really get a bit more methodical with the build. But that's the tune itself. Now for the last bit, it's going to be the transmission. I actually went ahead and stretched out the 5th gear just by a little bit. That way it'll give it a little bit more oomph in the straightaway. And that's going to be it for the build around Tokyo Expressway. And trust me, this particular handling is going to feel very smooth around this track. And to add, this should also feel pretty smooth for Le Mans as well, if you decide to race this car at that track rather than Tokyo Expressway. As we get started, two things to take note of. One, the car is very light. Even though we had a little bit of a delayed start, we went ahead and got ourselves a couple spots before we get to the first turn. And trust me, this car is going to pretty much be the fastest car in the straight line in this race. So we already got ourselves a very good advantage for speed. For acceleration, might be a little bit lacking, but the main thing to really ask about is how's the handling, since we got ourselves that fully customized suspension and of course the adjusted downforce. Well, it actually felt really good. The car felt very smooth. I really didn't have any fight whatsoever for the car. It just felt naturally smooth. It wasn't too loose, or I didn't have any understeer whatsoever. This is a MR, in fact, and MRs actually do feel pretty good in the game in my opinion. And this car just felt very, very smooth throughout the corners. You might have to be a little bit careful whenever you get back on the gas, that way you don't really overcook the rear tires and get the car loose. But other than that, the car just felt very, very smooth and dreamy, like a Milky Way candy bar. As we get closer to the front, as you can see, we actually are catching up to the Porsche and the GTR. We're going to try and make a move right here if we can. We're going to be side by side with the Porsche. The Porsche goes a bit wide. We're going to pretty much take control over that, get ourselves P6, get ourselves a good apex out of that corner. GTR gets a bit tight around that later part of the apex. We're going to get a good run, get a little bit of that side force as well, get ourselves to P5 as we approach this right hand turn. As we get on the brakes, we're going to get ourselves a nice turn as well, as we see the Supra easily once again overcooks the turn. It's going to keep P3 at the moment, or try to anyway. It's going to actually lose it to the Supra, but once we get to the main straight, it'll take you a couple seconds, but once you do get the fourth gear, the car actually does come to life, and the car has really good top speed, and not to mention, but also has a very really decently good sound engine as well. So as we cross the stripe, it's going to be 220. We're going to get to third place as we start lap number 2, and now we're going to focus on the hunt for both the RX-7 and the NSX. And it took a couple laps. It was lap 4, and as you can see, it's actually the three of us in our own little world. We actually have pulled away from the GTR. The RX-7 began to basically race against the Honda, and the Honda went into defensive mode while the RX-7 went into offensive mode. And usually if you have two cars that are pretty close to each other, those two cars actually do manage to run pretty quick. As you can see, Gallo at this point actually does have the fastest lap of the race, just being a few tenths off hitting into the 207. So yeah, if you have two cars racing together, you're really hoping that they use their stuff a lot. That way you can catch up. As we get through this corner, we're going to give Gallo a little bit of a love tap right there. Get ourselves a good exit as well. We're going to follow Gallo for a couple more seconds, and then once we get the fourth gear, our magical gear, we're then going to get ourselves a great slipstream right from Gallo's rear bumper, and then do a slingshot motion to the left, and just like that, we're going to go ahead and take the lead right at the end of lap 4 into lap 5. Fast forward now to lap 6. It's going to be our official hot lap for this racetrack, so I really encourage you guys just watch this hot lap, just give you an idea of what to expect from this car and get you a better grounding for Tokyo Expressway. After that, I will then show you guys our next step for our pit strategy. Alright, so we're going to fast forward to all the way to lap 10. We're going to go ahead and make our pit stop. Now, car has really amazing fuel mileage, which one thing I did forget to mention. Really good fuel mileage. I mean, you could technically do a non-stop if you probably race on map 3 or map 4, or even stretch that fifth gear a bit further. But we're going to give it a little bit of fuel. once we get in the track, we're going to do ourselves some 2 practice laps and get ourselves a very decently smooth 26-13 overall. So very smooth, quick package overall for this car. And yeah, it was a lot of fun driving this car again with its natural engine without the swap. But you actually did make a little bit of contact in this race. I think it's because of the Honda. Got ourselves that standard bonus, and that's going to be it for the episode. So here's a quick preview of the next episode. It's going to be using the classic rally red Mercedes-Benz car. It's going to be quite an interesting build because this car actually is in the low 600 pp range, but I'll try my magic and see what I can do with this race. If you guys have any suggestions, why not go ahead and leave them in the comment. If you, matter of fact, enjoyed today's episode, why not go ahead and leave a like, and if you'd like to see my content later down the road, why not go ahead and hit the subscribe button and share this video as well, which would be highly appreciated. If you guys want to check out the last episode, there it is right there. And with that all being said, hopefully you guys have a great rest of their night, and I'll see you guys later, and take care.